No, but we have an interesting topic today, and I think anybody that is watching right now can relate to this. No matter where anybody has worked, no matter where, people have always gossiped. I mean, there was just a big gossip rumor about Matt Damon, someone that you have interviewed about a week or so ago. It was a rumor that he went out on a camping trip and died.
Somebody just blogged about it? Or
somebody just blogged about it. And that night he was actually in L.A. for a movie premiere. So it's that easy. I mean, he had to do it like a press tour to say, hello, I'm still alive. It's that easy to start gossip.
What do they say? Believe only none of what you hear and only half of what you see. There's some truth to that. I mean, I think probably at one time or another, well, another we've probably all been talked about or had some kind of a rumor or something untrue said about us. We've probably participated in that. I'm ashamed to say. I can't say that I have never gossiped, but I don't want to.
I know. It just sometimes it's
you can't help it.
It's just very, very easy. And you know, you might have heard something, you think you heard something, so you repeat it, and then right from then and there, you just never know who takes it from there, and some of the stories.
Do you ever end up hearing rumors that start about you? Do they get back to you usually?
Yeah, none that I can really repeat on television.
That's okay. We won't ask you what they are because they weren't true. We only speak the truth on this show. We only speak the truth on this show. Well, we have somebody here today who wrote a book called The No Gossip Zone, Sam Chapman. So if you are somebody who has participated in gossip or maybe you've been gossiped about, we're going to talk to a man who banned gossiping at the workplace, which I don't know how in the world you were able to do it successfully, but Sam Chapman joins us this morning. Good to have you here.
Good to see you.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Forgive me, I'm stuck on page 57.
Oh, yeah. That's
we'll get to page 57.
It's about sex and gossip.
Now, Sam, everyone has their own definition of gossip. When I was reading the book, I mean, there's no real set definition. What's your definition of gossip?
Well, our definition is something negative said outside of the presence of the subject. And sometimes gossip can be positive, but that's not really worth limiting, you know. He's got great guns, doesn't he?
I married George Clooney. Now, that to me is not a bad thing.
If I said that off in the green room, you know, that wouldn't be something that might piss you off. But the part where you were pregnant, you know, that really raised some eyebrows around here. And I think that if you're talking about things that people would be happy to have said,
a lot of eyebrows.
He would make it onto Oprah if he was pregnant.
Yeah, is that how you do it? I've been trying so hard.
Why do people gossip?
I think they gossip out of insecurity. It makes them feel as if they're positioning themselves more grandly if they put other people down.
All right, well, what do you do? If somebody, you know, obviously anybody who's been in the workplace, there's been gossip. So what if you're a person who doesn't want to gossip, but you just keep having those groups of people come in and they want to start the gossip rumor? How do you handle by saying, you know what, I just don't want to partake? Is it that easy?
Yeah, because when people gossip, they want people to gossip with them.
Right.
The more, the merrier, right?
Well, there are only two ways to attack this. Individually, inside yourself, and then once you've conquered it inside yourself, you can conquer it as a community. But you all have to agree, like we did at my office. We decided to create a no gossip zone because we were sick of the way we were treating each other.
Now, you call it, there's two terms in your book. You call it inauthentic communication, and that's when the negative rumors are spread that are false, and then authentic communication. That's just being open and honest. Is it really possible for you to get a whole office full of people to have authentic communication with one another?
Probably not, but we're getting much closer than we ever did before. And what replaces gossip is people telling each other what they're really feeling. Because the alternative to saying it behind the back is to say it to someone's face or to keep it to yourself. And if it's really something you have a lot of energy about, you don't do a great job of keeping it to yourself.
Do you recommend that, say Michael and I were just acquaintances, even though if I heard a rumor about Michael, I would probably just tell him because I know him so well. But let's just say we didn't know each other that well, and I heard a really nasty rumor. But I don't want to participate in gossip. Would you recommend that I say to Michael, hey, you know what? People are saying people are saying this about you, and I just thought you might want to know, or should you stay out of it?
I would let him know, because that's the solution at our firm, at Empower Public Relations. We tell when you gossip. We call it gossip, and we make you go back and say
I'm sorry?
what you said, exactly. And did I hear right, you guys are more than just acquaintances?
Oh, don't say
Oh,
that.
that is definitely a rumor.
You just said that, didn't you?
It's just,
No.
Oh, okay.
No, turn Fred, really. He look at him.
I'll tell you,
How did he get pregnant?
I dated so many people I didn't even know I dated them.
Now, if you are successful, and you can attest to this because you did this, in removing the gossip from the workplace, and it's just authentic communication, I mean, what kind of results do you see in your workplace?
Well, on two score. One, our firm has doubled each year that we've been in a no gossip zone in terms of number of clients and revenue. But the big one is my life. My life feels so much better. I used to walk around the office and people would stop talking or they'd minimize their screen. We have an open door environment and sometimes they'd be cloistered behind closed doors when I knew there was no big meeting going on. So it's not like that anymore. Everyone's friends.
Sam, has the internet exacerbated this situation?
I think it has. I think that, in particular, we've seen some instances where kids have been harmed on the internet because they don't separate reality from fiction as well as adults do. So there have been kids who have actually killed themselves in the past year over this sort of thing. And the internet really puts a viral multiplier on the damage that can be done.
What do you think about the people who go on, there are blogs and websites and they can write things anonymously about other people. What do you think about people who do that?
Well, people fall into two categories, and I'm really talking about our communities, our churches, our classrooms, but public figures, people like yourselves or the president, they expose themselves to it. So we're free to talk about Britney Spears at my office, but it's not okay to talk about our colleagues or our clients. And so I think gossip as an industry is always going to continue. It's a way of communicating that actually, as a publicist myself, I appreciate when people are gossiping about my clients. It's being in the gossip magazines is one of the biggest ways you can promote a client. So,
Well,
is the gossip that you read, since you have clients who are in the magazines, usually true or usually false?
it is usually true.
Really?
There's a lot of effort behind the scenes. I can tell you there's a lot of effort that goes on into making sure a story in Us Weekly or People magazine is true.
So if Jennifer Aniston or Jessica Simpson is your client, you want to get them in those magazines?
If I were so lucky as to have them as clients, I think I would want to get them in a little bit less than they are, but yes, I would consider that an important tool. And for someone of less fame, it's a real leg up.
Okay, well, you mentioned in your book that you discuss owning your 100%. You just mentioned that before. Now, can you explain exactly what that is and how that can be empowering?
Yes. So all four of us here add up to 400%. We're in a conversation. Maybe the audience is here as well. But we each own 100% of what's going on. And we can shift our own realities by owning our situation. So I could get angry at something that you say, but I'm making myself angry. If I don't like what you're saying, I can get up and leave. I could take responsibility for what you're saying because I put myself on this couch. So I take my power back when I stop being at the effect of you and I realize that everything in my reality I have made true and I can make different.
We only have about 30 seconds left, but Fred was very interested in page 57,
Yes.
which talks about sex in the workplace and gossip and acting on emotions. So talk a little bit about that part of your book.
I will. People do have sexual thoughts in the office, and it's difficult to know what to do about them. If you own your own thoughts and you allow yourself to have your own thoughts and then move forward, it's a lot better than if you just stuff it and you don't allow yourself to have that sexual feeling. So people harass or they cheat because they're not willing to have that sexy moment inside and actually have their sexual emotion at the office instead of having a sexual behavior. So I think all of our emotions move through one pipe. My wife is a therapist, and she's worked on couples. When they clear up their anger, their sex life gets better. And I think the sexual thoughts can clog the pipe, too. You have to allow yourself in the office to have that woo-hoo moment and enjoy your sexual thought and then move on to work.
The book is called The
Good enough, Fred?
No Gossip Zone. It's written by Sam Chapman, something that probably every adult could pick up. Thank you so much for being with us
Great to
today.
see you.
It's a pleasure.
All right.